10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to more of the Mars TV Dota 2 League 2016 Autumn. It's MDL, it's OG versus EG in the lower bracket final. And we're about to hop into game number 2. Evil Geniuses did take down OG in game number 1 on the back of Anti-Mage, Naga, strategic, slow, methodical, torturous game 1. But here we are in game number 2 to see how things will be moving forward. I'm Kyle Guy, being the summit here with Ben. Welcome back, Merlini. And
I wouldn't have quite used the word torturous, even for OG.
It was definitely a steep hill of a comeback.
Yeah.
If OG wanted to kind of make the grind back in.
I feel bad for No-Tail though. It's kind of one of those games where like he tried so hard and he did so much on the hero that he was given, but overall his hero was just not suited for that type of game. It's like, okay, I gotta deal with a late game Naga, Anti-Mage as a void. So I think they have to go back to, you know, pull out that binder, the book, get those notes.
Okay, well, I want to say that OG probably anticipated that EG were going to be going for a first pick OD here. EG get first pick with game 2, and put in a ban like TA. Obviously, they want something to see coming back their way. OG opt to skip out on the OD ban, go for the Wisp and Kuka, and the second that the OD snagged up by EG, OG, do not hesitate, grab up the batter for S4, and then even give them the benefit of a Drow Ranger with it. But EG, go right the Oracle here. I don't know if it's something OG had considered or not, but here it is now, the quick scapegoat on getting out from a lasso.
I think you have to pick a defensive support if you're versus a Batrider with an OD. A lot of teams like the Omni Knight too. I think Omni OD is actually very strong versus the Batrider too. Batrider, like, he sees Repel's like, okay, what do I do against Repel? Even with Drow Ranger, you're still going to be hitting like a wet noodle.
But I will almost say Oracle started to become even better of a duo than having like an Omni Knight. Oracle can do everything for pretty much free when he's standing around. And
yeah,
it is ridiculous.
It is really nice, but the problem is if Oracle gets jumped, like, he has to actually be like kind of close to the fight, because Omni Knight you can just repel and just run away. Yeah. You just don't worry about it. It's not like they're gonna build the defusals super early on either of those heroes, or pick like a, because the defusal carriers aren't good with Drow Ranger. Like, you're not gonna pick Drow PL or Drow. I guess Drow Void is pretty reasonable, but for the most part, you won't see defusal carriers pair with Drow too often. But, you know, Omni Knight, we saw a little bit this tournament. Maybe not. Maybe we won't see it this series.
We saw it in their first matchup, I want to say, when EG and OG did it in the group stage. EG pulled it out in 2 of the 3 games for Universe. So we'll have to see if it's something to consider. But I imagine we have an early commitment to Drow. They'll probably get Universe the one to kind of jump, the one to be the gap close, the one to get in the face of Drow. I don't know if that is going to be a Tidebringer or a Sand King or
Axe, perhaps.
Axe is also great. I mean, if this was the olden days, I'd say a Clockwork. I think we saw 1 Clockwork this whole tournament, but we'll have to see.
Clockwork OD is weird. You want like a full range hero. It's kind of like TA too. It doesn't energize best. You can't actually burst people down in that.
So one of the others, Axe, Sand King. All the options there.
I like Axe a lot versus the Drow Ranger because you can also build Guard. He's a very good Crimson Guard carrier.
But they banned Darkseer. That's weird. I mean, obviously they're not going to be looking at Darkseer themselves, but
Darkseer is always a big issue when you're trying to push ground. Drow Rangers generally want to push high ground by like 40, let's say. Darkseer is like really good at defending high ground, especially EG and Darkseer.
That's fair enough. Well, another thing OG we're going to have to consider here for their mid lane grab is it's going to be someone who obviously is going to get the benefit of the Drow aura, but you'll need that extra benefit when you're going against the OD. Or does having the benefit of the Drow Ranger just open up more options on people who would normally be a bad matchup against OD, but now we're going to be good?
So it's more that case. I think overall their draft, they need to way more about the safe lane. I think that the Darkseer is also pretty good against the Drow Ranger safe lane. Like, Darkseer +1, how Drow Ranger can't really kill the Island Shell creeps that fast, not until she's level 5, level 6, and you actually have potential to run over the Drow early. If you kill Drow like a couple times in lane, or God forbid you lose your tower early, then your whole strat, like, you have to go to like, you know, your third string strat right there.
But if EG go for Axe, I imagine she's okay with Axe against the lane, but Axe could just go to jungle right away.
Yeah, it's good. It's good because it's good later. You know, you have a lot of armor with call. You can stick on the Drow Ranger. You're always okay with being in melee range against the Drow Ranger, but it's also okay in lane if you have another hero that can pressure and perhaps in like Earth Spirit, let's say.
OG are going to be going. It looks like the Jerix Rubik grab does have a plethora of decent options in stealing of spells between the OD and the Oracle here, but yet to really see what I mean. Field, I guess, is like a proc, a casual grab. I'm not really seeing the full story on why the Rubik here and now yet, but maybe it's something that will reveal itself. You can't limit options, I suppose, for hero picks for EG, but
strong roamer.
Strong roamer. He's range, so yeah, he also gets a little of that Drow love. But I could have seen that as a, I don't know, Lion, Shaman, any other range support that has a mild disable.
Yeah, I think Rubik is just much more flexible going into the later game though.
Okay. I mean, I suppose he also peaks at a pretty good point, rather, you know, when your Drow's looking for a closeout. That's the thing too, is I don't know what the secondary core is going to be for OG. We've seen it from both sides, whether it's going to be something super late game, where EG had already made sure they got rid of the Medusa, or if...
You could always do like Razor. Razor's pretty safe here.
Razor's also nice to have against the OD too.
Yeah. Decent against Beast and Oracle. Met Carrier, they want to go that route.
Huskar's not a thing, is it? Is that something to be concerned about?
It's always a thing to be concerned about if you're with Oracle.
5 seconds remaining.
What about OG's side? They haven't committed their other support yet, and they already have a Drow Ranger.
I think it's weak versus the OD. OD does a lot of pure damage with the Arcane Orb, and you can easily kite the Huskar. Huskars almost never get BKB, so like he's very vulnerable to just like getting Astral and just kite him and just destroy their team. Yeah. I think overall, it's pretty strong in lane though. I think the OD versus Huskar matchup is very Huskar favored, and combine that with Drow Aura, should be easy lane. But I don't know, I think Oracle's also pretty good versus the Huskar. Like Fate takes off the majority of his damage.
Other than that, like what? Because you could be super dirty if you're OG and get like a Viper. Viper Drow Aura against OD, matchup okay, but then you're kind of stuck with like meeting that Drow Ranger tempo and making it work from there, because Viper's late game can be a pretty hot and cold. But we haven't seen much hero. I don't even know if OG really played very often. I guess
they have. Definitely did it so in the past.
I like the Rise. I like the Raider. But I don't know what to see.
They still need burst though. Like they can kill people in Bat Rider last though. They're like, I don't know. I guess they just need more click is okay.
It's going to be a Storm here for OG side.
It's a tough lane matchup.
They're benefiting that maybe just based on the on a skill and with the help of the Drow, that the Storm will be able to match up okay against OD, but...
They need a secondary way to kill the Oracle. I think they use... I don't know, I think Newbie used this versus EG's Oracle. They use the Spectre, and Oracle is always looking out for a lasso, but as soon as you yourself, boom, Storm will just pop you. Every single time.
Yeah, SC went crazy that game. And Crit, who was playing the Oracle in that game, yeah, he just, every time he was shown was just insta death. And you know you don't want to be forced to false promise either, then you might as well just not even be in the fight to begin with.
And with the Drow on the side of the Storm Spirit too, you're also going to be hard pressed to find farm. You don't get very much respite against a Drow Ranger. You can't just sit in the lane for like 3 or 4 minutes. You're never really given that. So it's not like he's gonna get a Blink or a Ghost Scepter, which is more so my point, to survive against the Storm Spirit. Those are kind of your ideal items.
Oh, so they get a Riki here.
Riki.
Oh boy. So now you have that assisted silence. I mean, Storm can jump in, but if Riki's there waiting,
Riki is so good versus Storm.
That could be a problem, yeah. And now, even the Drow in the laning phase, it could be very fragile. I mean, I hope Rubik and company were getting raided by sentries, because they're gonna need a lot.
Yeah, I think the Riki's gonna cause a lot of issues for them.
I mean, he fell off the radar for a while, and then suddenly just creeps back in.
Yeah.
What a time to do so.
Well, it's like, oh, all the heroes that are good against Riki are getting picked again. Okay, I will pick Riki.
And the cycle continues, you know, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
OD falls out and we bring back in Brood Mothers stuff and things get crazy. Final ban from OG is going to be getting rid of the Morphling here. We did see a good share of RTZ Slark yesterday.
I don't know if they want to go for the Slark.
Outside of that,
I like Sven more.
I was just going to say Sven is kind of your, what always feels like the EG classic, regardless of who's playing it. Just seems to kind of be the mascot for the team at times.
What else would be good for them? Yeah, like they're lacking armor right now. I think that's a big glaring weakness in their lineup.
Oh,
Lifestealer is also decent.
Lifestealer.
Here they can just run up onto the Drow Ranger.
You can hide inside the Riki, I suppose.
Yeah.
In a bird.
It's back, baby!
Alright, so Lifestealer's here to play now. OG have already committed with both of their cores. They're looking for another support. I don't know if there's an end-all be-all answer here to help against a Riki Lifestealer, but we'll have to see what the options are going to be. Do you opt to... We've seen some teams go with their Bounty Hunter, so they get their own kind of Riki. You get the track, which I suppose could help against the Riki. No, they're going to go with the Ogre, one that is never an easy target, even for a Riki in the early game, because he's just so freaking fat. And obviously, you get the benefit of the Bloodlust on your Drow Ranger, so she can just do her job that much faster.
A downside of the Ogre this game, though, is the Bloodlust can easily be purged off by the Oracle.
This is true.
But yeah, it's... I like the philosophy of, if you're versus the Invisible Roamer, Riki, and Bounty Hunter, you pick super tanky supports. And Ogre is, I think, the tankiest support in the game, if not the tankiest hero in the game at level 1.
Yeah, I mean, Fly has some other classic supports that, I don't know, could it fit the bill as well? You know, whether that be like Undying. I remember we used to pull out the Phoenix all the time. If we're looking to really flip through the chapters of the Dota meta, if we're pulling out Rikis and stuff, I mean, I don't know if you want to dig back that far, but he feels like Ogre seems to fit the bill here. And we'll have to see if it's going to be good enough, because OG need a win here to stay alive. Otherwise, they are going to be set packing with the third place. It's going to be EG moving into the grand final to go against Newbie. Let's see how it's done. As we get underway, already the early TP smoke out. It's going to be No Tail, actually, with the ward. He's like, I'm going to be probably mid lane, so I want my ward where I want it. And it'll get it already up on the high ground here. Obviously, with Universe already going to the Dragon Talon, he's probably going to be hoping to participate in that camp a bit, but...
Did you say Dragon Talon?
Did I say Dragon Talon?
I don't know, it sounded like Dragon Talon.
Iron Talon?
Maybe I just heard it wrong.
I meant Iron Talon if I said
Dragon Talon sounds way cooler.
Well, we have a Dragon Lance already, so can't have both. Iron Lance.
Iron Lance sounds weak.
Yeah.
It sounds like a tenth of a quarterstaff.
Wood Lance.
1 damage, 1% attack speed. 100 gold.
Probably not even as good as a quarterstaff.
Oh no. Definitely not.
Alright, well, it looks like OG are not going to venture out too far here. They've gotten their one ward down and they'll be satisfied with that, while EG get their own ward mid lane. We anticipate it is going to be the OD versus Storm matchup in the mid, one that Sumail is, of course, extremely familiar with, both as the Storm and I imagine as the OD. So we'll have to see how much help Ana is going to be getting here.
So Zai is definitely checking out the sentry count on the side of OG. There is a Dust on Fly, there is a sentry on No Tail, and a sentry on Rubik. However, this means that if Ogre and Storm are heading mid, then that means they have no sentry, which means Zai can stay in this lane. That's always what you want to do as a Riki early, just identify which lane you can cause the most havoc, and if they don't have any detection, make them buy detection.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you happen to catch it at all, but Eric, he's a guy who had worked with Dream League a bit, released a video for Riki and was talking a bit about Echo Saber Riki and how it actually is potentially bugged with his Tricks of the Trade Ultimate. I doubt it's a profitable pick in the kind of position Sai is going to be in, but there's something I danced around with a bit in Overthrow, and it definitely seemed to do a ridiculous amount of damage, and here we go already. First blood is going to be on S4 in the bottom lane, and it goes to Arteezy. They make that look effortless, just easily walking on in there, and obviously with the early commitment to Sticky Napalm, he cannot make it out. I'm getting
tough
a little
life
bit of
dealing
lag.
with Riki. S4 has recently swapped over to the the offlane role, but I think most of the time in this tournament we haven't really seen that much Riki, and like dealing with offlane is like one thing, but dealing with offlane and then a Riki in the game is just a completely different ball game, and I think it's going to take some time for him to get used to.
Yeah.
And it might take a lot of deaths to learn his lesson.
No, I'm playing this Bat Rider in the mid lane. I don't really run into this much trouble. It doesn't say that Rikis don't ever roam in the mid lane.
It's because you're almost always level 2 by that time.
But yeah, now it's like, hey, hold on a second here. I don't have nearly as much resources as I normally would in this kind of position, and this is going to be a bit uncomfortable for S4 at the start. And now the Riki mind game begins as Zai is actually already on the prowl elsewhere.
It's not only that, he can't feel safe about taking his stacks down. Like, normally you're like okay with being at like 100 HP in the jungle, but with Riki you can never really do that.
No-Tail is looking pretty good in the CS game right now, man. He's almost got every single one, but not surprised about that. Universe has opted to hand over the offlane. He goes right to work in the jungle with his Iron Talon. Not too surprising on that front, as he's already level 3.5 at about 2 minutes in.
I don't think I've asked you about this, but Lumi was trying to make calling Iron Talon IT a thing. He's like, oh yeah, he's going to IT.
I mean, I'm letting you pass with EB.
With who?
With EB?
EB?
You say EB for Ethereal Blade.
EB? What's wrong with EB?
I don't know. I mean,
Ethereal Blade.
What's wrong with IT?
Because IT already stands for something.
Mid lane. On in a bit of trouble. We'll get burst down to the end. It looks like Crit's going to get last say with the Purifying Flames. Fly will have to watch his comrade go down and just kind of soak up the XP in the meantime. Another successful pickoff there for EG.
Too much Riki damage.
EB, I imagine, stands for something somewhere.
Yeah, but it's not well known. If you can't think of it right now, that doesn't
so
mean
as long as
it's
it's well known. Okay, I didn't know what the terms were. So
everyone knows what IT is, or has heard that at least. I would hope.
Off lane here as we see Sumail putt-putting his way out from trouble, trying to get in his face a bit, but will ultimately back off. I must... The mid lane matchup is Sumail at 15 and 10 denies to 8 and 4 on Storm. We anticipated it was going to be a pretty nice matchup on paper for the OD.
S4 is getting a lot of levels on the bottom lane, so this can kind of make up for the discrepancy. He did give up an early kill, but he's still level 4.5.
Level 2 Purifying Flames is going to be good enough with the vision? Yes, it will! Oh, yes. Good persistence there from Crit.
They have a ward here. See, it's still these small things. It's like, oh, crap, they have a ward here. Just constant die.
Look at Zai, up to no good. He has forced 3 from OG into the woods. He has even managed to blink strike out and away. He's going for the TP. He is dead. All right, Zai, it was a close call, and we would have seen probably on Red tomorrow, but nonetheless... almost able to make it out.
Dude, that was a lot of time.
That was for sure. A lot of trouble there as OG had to be pulled back behind their own tower and away from the lane. But they will be rewarded with the first kill of the game as we get up to 3-1 now.
But still, 2 detection, a sentry and a dust used for a support Riki kill, and he was able to leech some experience in the meantime. And the sentry's pretty much useless. Like, look at where the sentry is. You're not going to be able to use that again.
That was to get a Zai kill right then.
Yeah. But it's just lost value. Oh, Beastmaster is level 6, just 5 minutes into the game. Pinging out what's about to happen. Ana is just heading back to get his bottle, though.
Wah wah for EG at least, as they will be missing the.
I mean, still they're setting up the wards. This is EG's territory. Get out of here. The eagle's flying over. It's America, dude.
I mean, that's what EG's all about, really. So as patriotic as it is, let's see if they can.
They need like a red, white, and blue ward for them too.
They really missed the boat on that one. Oh. Movement from Zai in the back lines here. Ana had been missing from the map, I'm sure, from EG's point of view for quite a while, but Fly's the one that's kind of in a bit deep. Now gonna have to cross over the smoke screen here. Long hit of the Fortune's End. Now S4 steps into play. Still not level 6 and without a lasso. May not have a whole lot to say in the matter, as it looks like they will be able to swarm around Fly and get the finish.
So why did Riki fall off so much? It seems like he's just owned this early game for them.
Middle tower is under attack.
Well, who's suddenly not not in Dota anymore, and was before that Riki was having problems against. I guess is my first line of detective work. I'm not too sure, to be honest. Zai's making a great case for him here as Universe by his side sets up the roar, and they take S4 down again.
Yeah, Riki's owning, dude.
I don't know,
First blood, another kill.
Just like
wasted time.
In the past, we just saw Riki every game when he was not banned. So by that point, teams are just so warmed up to the idea. They just, I guess, have that common sentry knowledge and keep everything in tabs. I don't know. And then you stop playing against Riki and with Riki for a long time. It shows up again. You're kind of like, oh wait, what? I have a new roster now.
I can't play sports anymore. I haven't. Yeah, that was a good one.
It's rough. So this is very awkward right now for OG, being put in a pretty unfamiliar position, at least of what we've been seeing in the past couple of weeks. So this is
still, they're getting a lot of value out of their top lane.
Yeah,
by top lane I mean Jerax is taking over while No-Tail does the Ancients.
Yeah.
That's a lot of moolah, a lot of XP.
I mean, they're getting at a good timing here for the Drow to really be able to move forward and start demolishing down these tier 1s. She's going to be bringing a serious wealth. There's an EG ward nearby, but there is no one to scout it out, as the rest of them are still hanging around this bottom lane a bit.
That efficiency too on No-Tail, killing the large creeps first. It's a small thing, but it adds up. It's like maybe 3 or 4 more shots, depending on the order that you take it out. But Riki, yeah, has a bomb inside of him. They do have sentry in obs, but they're approaching from the north side of the Ancients. And are they going to find anyone? Is Zai going to walk into sentry range? Nope. No, he is not. He knows they have a sentry up there, though, because they took down his ward. But S4, oh, S4.
It's been a rough game for him already. 0 and 3. Let's make it 0 and 4. Smoke screen with nowhere really to fly. They're going to commit the roar on this one just to secure it. Universe with a killing spree now. Now this leads to them getting some work in on this tier 1. Best start you can ask for. The only good thing really going for OG right now.
The Ancient Farm.
The Ancient Farm, No-Tail Drow Ranger, you know, being rich as hell.
Ooh. Stolen Rage, easy. Rage is actually pretty good to steal. Actually.
I mean, come on.
I don't know, it's really good if you can kite the Lifestealer so hard with that, but the problem is if you get smoke screen, then you're just done for.
The smoke screen, that'd be a sweet spell to steal.
It's it's such low, the cast range is really low.
Yeah, but you have telekinesis to throw them into it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd much rather have like Split Earth or like Light Strike Array, something like that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, those are amazing.
But Smoke Cloud's just like mediocre, I think.
Jarek's really good though. I mean, those won't settle for him. He needs to make sure he gets like Primal Roar and all the big boy spells. We'll see if he'll be able to do it here. As Ana is going to be residing in the top lane, clinching back a bit of his own farm. He's at level 8. Have yet to see him really get unleashed yet. But I don't know. Do you suppose at this point in the game you could try to get together and be gangbusters, maybe throw a dust in your pocket, go on a Riki hunt here? Or do you continue to get hunted by Riki? There's an Astral in there somewhere, I think. It disappeared for a moment, now it's back. But Zai, or Jerax rather, confidently walks in, and I think EG are just a bit unsure about this lonely Jerax. Otherwise, I would imagine they would have pulled the trigger and killed him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now they'll prison him again. There's going to be the Cloud. He's got that rage, though. He goes for the rage TP. I guess that was what he was waiting for. He actually almost dies to right-click, but he will be able to make it back inside the base.
See, rage is good, dude.
It kept him alive, I'll give him that. And pulled a little bit of focus on himself, I suppose.
Bright Rider with an invisibility rune there. It's a sentry ward in the mid lane on the Radiant side, but it is in a very difficult position to actually spot out a Bat Rider coming in, and they're looking to protect their own jungle. As S4 creeps in, perhaps might catch Sumail out.
Let's see. Yep, Sumail's moving forward. There's no tier 1 to TP to if you're EG. And just as fast as he gets the prison off, there's going to be S4 with the lasso and the pullback. Now looking to fly on forward. Ana needs a bit more mana, a bit more of a jump. Gets in now, but Zai shows up, gets off the smoke screen, but the prison is going to be, unfortunately, onto the bat. I don't know if Sumo maybe put it onto himself. It might have been to help him keep him alive, but over here on the side, it looks like Universe is caught up in a bit of arms. Still holds on to the Primal Roar here. May need to use it, or might decide to hold it if he feels like he could be dropping his own life. The chase is on. The stolen boar, the chase from Eric, but now going to get coaxed in under a smoke screen. Zai turns it back and around. That's after the roar is going to be committed. S4 continues to make chase. Now has to opera TP out. Will be able to make it away. A trade of 1-1 apiece, but still better one for OG in taking down the Sumail OD.
I don't even think he had that much money at that point, though. It looks like he already bought his band of Elven skin. And that was a napalm kill right there. He like turned around to Astral. He's like, Astral. It's so hard with napalm to do something like that.
Bomb, Riki bomb, Riki bomb, Riki boom! Smoke screen for Honor right now. He's desperate to make it to the other side of the screen and makes it over. He is gone. Too close for comfort right there for OG.
Yeah, if they had perfectly placed the smoke cloud, like, you don't actually want the Storm Spirit in the exact center. You want him like maybe like a third of a radius away from the center, and then you want it to like overlap the area that he's facing. So if he turns around, he still kind of takes the same amount of time to walk out at the side of the smoke cloud.
They might have just read it like he would try to run up and around the corner, but on a straight to go directly to the cliff. Yeah,
he was already facing that way, and it takes him less mana to get the steez, so it was definitely the right play from him. But I think a perfectly placed smoke screen would have taken there.
OG,
that's a matter of inches.
Smoke moving to the bottom lane. They cut off Universe. He's able to get off the roar, but the Astral is here. That's a stolen Astral from Jarek, still unfortunate for Universe, and that actually leads to the last hit. Nice connection there. Good gank from OG. Puts the offlaner on the sidelines, and now they look for a swing.
Yeah, he has roar.
Towards the mid lane. And with roar ready to go, EG are not looking for a fight, but all goes along with good timing with OG. This is about the time where they would love to be able to take down some tier 1s.
Yeah, they're making really good use of the Drow aura now. Yeah. Getting a lot of picks while Drow is like super strong right now.
This will lead to tier 1s and continue to allow them to go down that Drow agenda, possibly moving into the Roche for the near future. EG now kind of working with what's left on the map as Sumail's going to be pushing up to the top lane. We'll have to continue to see how these...
They've been running over so much with the Lifestealer. Like, Lifestealer, you know, he's supposed to be able to get kills, get in and out, keep farming up the map, but looks like Roshan is going to be taken down. They do have a Sentry Ward, and Zai... Whew, I don't know, it's going to be tough. I think he will just die in a lift, though.
Oh, wow, OG just pulled off and just headed right south. They knew, like, in anticipation that EG were going to come, they wanted to come to this particular spot and be ready on the high ground. Are EG going to be coming from one side? It looks like they're going to come up from the left-hand side. They drop down their own ward. Now the Vision's going to be there from both fronts. OG showed themselves as they shoot down the bird.
That was a very important Hawk, though. Like, if he didn't have that Hawk there, he would have just gotten slaughtered. That was a very nice attempt by the trap. I don't think it would have worked had they not scanned, because the scan turned green, and Zai went into that area and there was no one there, so they didn't exit to the north. He knew that they exited either to the east or to the south, more likely to the east, but they still covered their bases.
Arteezy, though, is still with Zai, waiting, and anticipating that OG are going to be returning to the Roche pit, which at this moment they do. But they still have that sentry outside the front door. Puts EG in a bit of an awkward spot.
They need the Hawk. Hawk just came off cooldown.
And there it is. Oh, they went up the stairs. S4 runs into Arteezy. Now there's going to be the stolen roar committed onto Arteezy. Another roar, this one from Universe. The last will pull up as they get Arteezy to the high ground now. Allows Onna to isolate him up there, and they're going to be able to get the burst. But the false promise does come out to keep Arteezy alive. They continue to duke it out with the bottom half. They move in for No Tail. The book being able to push him back and away. Arteezy does get finished. EG could consider pulling off now. But first they're going to get the swipe onto Jerix, making it a 1-for-1 trade. But that is all EG are going to be able to get. They pull off and away, but OG also not in a comfortable position, it looks like right now. And
that was a great gust. Really good gust by Drow Ranger. Got 3 heroes with it.
I may have missed seeing it, unfortunately, not by lag circumstances. Oh, nice little deny. Okay, Fly. Moves the snipe away that bit of gold. And they're back in once again for the Roche distance. It looks like they will be able to get the finish. And also according to the plan of Drow Ranger.
Storm's getting fat. Regen Rune and Aegis. That's nice.
Yummy. We'll have to see what Ana can do with it. Still have yet to see him really get unleashed here. They found a great lasso pullback onto Arteezy, which allowed Ana to be able to kind of go toe-to-toe with Arteezy there, but... This is where Crit begins to sweat a bit. You don't be kind of showing yourself as the Oracle, and that this Storm Spirit's going to be really free to do as he pleases. I mean, if a fight is to break out, is it a justified Aegis life if he's able to jump in the back lines and quickly take out Crit and then just cause a bit of chaos?
Definitely. I think the Roar actually made a big difference in that fight too, the Roar on Jerax. So I think they need to make sure that they have some sort of way to control the life stealer. They've been doing a really good job of limiting his damage output thus far.
Alright, looks like OG are on the move. Off towards the lower half of this map where RTZ is farming. They have plenty of vision still here. They will see RTZ walking out. And it looks like they'll just kind of pick up the pieces from that bottom lane and continue to have it pushed in as EG will look to make moves elsewhere and get back into their own grind of farm. We're not going to be seeing much more of the RTZ Zai Invis bombs right now. I think they recognize that they are a little bit behind and they are going to have to get back into some farm work now.
It's just not a good time to fight when Storm is this strong relative to them. Without the Aegis, or if they're split up, it's a good time to fight. But until then, they actually need to kill the Drow Ranger. No-Tail has just been left to his own device for far too long for EG to feel comfortable with taking a straight head team fight.
Yeah, they went down a road of kind of ignoring the Drow Ranger, it looks like, but here EG are now putting full attention onto her. Zybe there, he's actually doing the invis body block. No-Tail has to know she's there, so that's when the TPs begin to roll in. EG are not going to be looking to overstretch their boundaries here. But now S4 looking to move in, just as he tries to go in for the lasso play. Unis is already ready to go and jumps in with his own Primal Roar and makes connection. With that ward on the high ground, they obviously see the sweeping from the bat. They just are quick to bite.
S4 tried to do that without vision and without his team there. That was super bold.
He'll be punished for it.
Yep.
OG know that they cannot safely move into their own territory here.
It's okay.
Well, might with an is.
Yeah. Bloodstone, the ready. He's only a half mana though, so that's not ideal.
Oh, they've surrounded his mail with the benefit of that Is rune. Jerix and Ana are hoping that they can get the job done, but Zai's here now, drops down the smoke screen, makes things a bit interesting. Tricks to the trade is going to be committed, and now Arteezy tries to get the finish onto Ana. They are going to be able to bring him down, but that's just going to be the Aegis. Zai and company look to backpedal and make it away. Jerix now gets Arteezy set up with the Astral, another stolen. It's going to be a stolen smoke screen. Now the right clicks come through from No-Tail and is going to be able to take out Arteezy. The damage. The rest of EG have already kind of hightailed it back, but for the few straggling behind, they might be able to kind of just step out. It looks like Sumail to the low ground, but the chase continues. This S4 blinks over, flame breaks, right clicks, and they're going to get it done. Sumail's going to be dropped, so will Arteezy. OG really on the up and up now. Universe tries his best to cut the creep wave, but OG really getting everything they could ask for.
Nice stack of Aegis right there. I'm surprised that Lifesteal was going for a heavy damage output build too. RT is going for the Dezo. I think he's just getting kited a lot. A lot of it's due to Rubik stealing a spell. He had Astral that fight, so he self-Astraled himself as Lifesteal was chasing him down, and then by the time the Astral was up, OG's entire team swarmed the Lifestealer, and he perishes yet again. So he's like having a lot of trouble just sticking on targets, and there's small things too that add up, like the move speed from the Bloodlust that also just makes it incredibly difficult for him to chase heroes down, on top of one 4-staff already out on the Drow Ranger, and another one coming out soon for Bat.
I guess some subtle differences and the benefits of maybe if he had a Bounty Hunter over the Riki, the track move speed would be swell, but they do have at least the Hurricane Pike still on Sumail. They help shove in or out. I suppose maybe
he can't afford to use it on him though.
Yeah, I mean, I know Crick can't afford a 4-staff at all at this moment, and I would imagine certainly the case for Zai, not looking to go for a 4-staff.
Now they can take a fight though. Now that the Storm Spirit doesn't have the Aegis, he doesn't have instant respawn either. Only 12 charges on a level 13 Storm Spirit. And Radiant has you scanned. They have found someone. It's just
it's Fly. It's their fat support. But with right clicks coming out and some extra bursts, they're going to be able to get it. S4 was also around. Universe catches him again with another roar and will take him out.
Oh, that's a nice +1 to get.
Yes, it is. Fortunately for S4, it's the second time where he's been kind of around, but unfortunately it's the wrong place, the wrong time.
Wrong neighborhood, buddy.
Wrong place to go, and he will be punished. Universe just so fast with those roar setups. And now EG have been kind of permitted more farm time. And
he went for the unusual build of going for the Blink Dagger before the Necro 2. You'll see it sometimes, the Blink Dagger before Necro 3.
Whoa, man, a huge jump in there by Anna, man. I was about to leave the lane, but then I saw the storm coming out of nowhere. Lag probably didn't help it, but he eventually showed up and just blasted him down.
OD.
Did I say OD?
No, I'm looking at OD right now. They wanted to go for a kill on him, but he had to look at that Hawk positioning. The Hawk positioning scattered out those 3 heroes.
OG will have to settle. I guess they're hoping to get the jump just as they kind of cause a bit of chaos on RTZ in the top lane. S4 takes to the skies, spots that Sumail, but then quickly gets hit with the prison. We'll have to stop from there. OG just really turned up the aggression in like the past minute. Got what they needed done on RTZ and are looking to punish anyone else who's willing to be a bit overzealous, and it could be Zai. Zai sees him, drops down the smoke, follow-up play is the jumping from Universe with the RTZ bomb will allow them to quickly take out S4. But now Anna to get the pull back on for Sumail. They're going to look to right him a puck and they're going to get it done. Here comes the damage now. No tail right clicking through on RTZ. Going to get the false prophecy, keep him alive and well. Damage continues to chunk though, and I don't think there's enough heal to save him from it. And that will be his destruction. Double kill now for No Tail. But and with that and the power of Anna moving on forward, they will quickly Shrek on through 4 of EG.
Oracle is very underwhelming this game too. They, like, yeah, he's 5-1 and 5, but the OD keeps on dying. OD 0 and 3. You want your OD to be like super large and super fat. He went for 2 mobility items, but he's still just getting annihilated by the physical damage from Jar Ranger and Jar Aura. Mostly the Storm Spirit right clicking the OD, but yeah, he's making the OD look like not worthy of a first pick in this particular scenario.
Certainly not. The biggest thing going for AG, it felt like the presence of the Riki in the laning phase that really ruined things up, and specifically for like S4 quite a bit.
The life is really underwhelming this game though.
Yeah,
he's the one that's supposed to keep the Drow in check, but he hasn't been able to do that at all. Like everyone's still getting the marksmanship damage, and that's why they're all falling so fast, because the Lifestealer is failing to do his job as being the one that stickies onto the Drow Ranger. And a lot of that has to do with No Tail's excellent kiting as well. The item choice just gives him a lot of armor so that he can stand up to the Lifestealer even if Lifestealer is on top of him, and he does have the Force Staff, or the Hurricane Pike rather, so that he can simply slide away.
I can't help but figure out what EG are going to be doing in this kind of situation now.
Kill Drow.
Not easy though, not to this point.
Not easy, and the Storm Spirit is still going to go crazy right now.
Yeah, he was definitely showing a lot of his potential in that last fight.
Yeah.
He got from, you called him out at 12 charges before, suddenly up to 16.
Yeah, he has the instant respawn now.
And Arcane Rune. This could be a storm show here soon. And let's see if EG are going to be prepared for it. This is not looking so good. Confident and feeling good on the back of their Naga AM game in game 1. This time now taking things a bit more high tempo, and I don't know, maybe with where the meta was, a bit unorthodox, going back to Riki once again. But
it was just inefficient in the way they utilized him so well in the first like 6 or 7 minutes, and then once they wanted to use the Lifestealer bombs, it was just very inefficient the way they used it. Like OG were playing around it very, very well, and he would have to spend a good like 45-50 seconds for not the best kill. They didn't get that one kill at the Storm Spirit that I think would have changed momentum a lot.
It did feel like they didn't put really much attention to the Storm Spirit. I mean, I don't know if that was just them thinking that
no, they tried
to work.
He was always just farming the jungle though, and they pressured the lanes instead of pressuring the jungle. And I also don't think that they expected a Drow Ranger to go to the Ancient so soon. It coincided with the D ward, so they weren't like exactly sure of when it was going to happen.
Well, due to EG not being able to read the early game too well and where OG was, they find themselves a bit starved in where they were supposed to kind of be doing some serious work and taking a lot of kills and punishing this Drow lineup. Haven't been able to really achieve any success with the lineup they set to. purpose.
Once Drow dies, though, the game can turn around very, very swiftly, especially if it's close to a Roshan fight.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're going to keep prioritizing, I believe, the Storm. If Storm gets another Aegis, I don't even think it matters if the Drow Ranger dies, because Ana can clean all of them up.
Looks like OG have already stepped out from that Roche before it even finished. I don't know if they were hoping to make a quick jump to the top lane. It looks like they could. EG are already rolling out. And it looks like the TPs are already going. So no opportunity for catch there by OG. They'll just kind of reset the lane. Unless they're doing a long cutoff here. Look at this. They could come all the way across here and catch EG on the way out. That's what Sumail or S4's game plan is. Oh, he'll settle for the courier. Gets that one and gets a crit grab. With Ana making a long committed jump, it looks like they will be able to get just the support snipe along with the courier takedown. Just an example of how OG been able to kind of read the map a bit better.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Using the Beastmaster as the vehicle for the lifesteal, however, they're still 5 strong. I really think you can go into that. I want to fight now, but it's just not the right time.
They're thinking about it. They're hanging on the outside, but actually OG's going to be inside the base, and look at that. They've only been able to stop die. He has to go in the tricks of the trade. Universe commits in. They're going to be able to blow up S4 right away.
Get the gem.
They snag in. They quickly grab up the gem now, and OG push off a bit. They didn't like that, and they do not follow up. Oh man, there's actually some decent damage coming here from Sumail on the no-tail.
Hurricane Piken.
Huh? Forces them out. They weren't able to get to tier 3. They take S4 down. EG hold for now.
Gem pick is big, especially when you rely on light field bombs to get kills for you.
And no Aegis. No, there's an Aegis, okay. Still has the Aegis. OG still have time.
They can just wait for Storm to get really big, though.
I don't want to wait more, Ben. I want him to be big.
I mean, he's big now, but he can just get bigger. Bigger and bigger and bigger.
Bigger, 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 bigger. We've already witnessed get big all game. But obviously, when the stakes are this high, grand final before you. Here, G. Okay, on it, looking to go all the way in. See you later, Zai. Whoa.
Blow the man down.
Destruction.
How is that only 1,000 of the 1,600 mana?
I mean, they increased mana cost too.
It looked like he dipped like...
He definitely dipped
2.5,
like for sure.
I've always been really bad about judging Storm's mana usage too. You think it's such an easy jump, then you're out of mana.
Well, you gotta like get bottle along the way, pull out all the tricks in on them.
Or just have...
Yeah, bunch of farm, bunch of items, lots of charges. Ana begins to go to work here with that first life. Trying to get the jump, they're going to get the lasso, they're going to get the pull back. A false promise will be there to bail out TC from the lasso play. Multi-cast a flying. And OG pedal a bit. EG waiting for their new approach now, not looking to overextend outside the base and close this one out sooner than they'd like. And OG fast to get nutries on the ground. Where does that movement is? That's going to be the racks down already.
How useless is life stealer this game? Oh my goodness.
It's really not getting a whole lot as Ana will make the commitment for Sumail. There's going to be the pullback. He gets off the prison onto himself. And now with Ana pretty much disappearing from the map. I don't know where he went. Now making a jump for the T's. He gets the pullback in the kill. That's a takedown. Mega kill for No Tail. And as he looks for the follow-up, trying to get Sumail here, a new prison will be there, but they eventually grab him. He's going to be out for a buyback. And that will cost them the Rex.
That's pretty much game right there. Ana just went crazy onto the Storm, though. Gave way too much space to No Tail, though. I really like his decision, though, to go to the Ancient. I really think that propelled them to where they needed to be, because it allowed Jrex to just farm Stoneman that safely. And a lot of that was due to Universe's choice to just completely sack a lane. But the way they proceeded systematically from lane to Ancient to Roche and just beefed up with Storm Spirit. Marksmanship plus Bloodlust is just way too much for EG to handle.
And that will be the official call, seeing their Rex go being him off for a whole lot. Certainly doesn't look good. And game puts along. It looks like it's going to be over on the back end of a disconnect. They're ready to stop right in the game number 3.
think they also for a much faster pace than a game. I think EG has a game on, and especially if it's like a slow roll into the late game. And OG, they took them out. And they took them out fast.
What a terribly awkward way to end the game. Okay, there we go. Would you get it done? Almost destructive ZG in game one. They just got a lot